Another black eye for the sport of kings. And George has been following the story very closely throughout the day, haven't you, George?
Absolutely, Katie. Just months after dozens of thoroughbred racehorses died during Santa Anita Park's winter meet, the validity of last year's Triple Crown Championship by Justify is suddenly in question. According to a report in the New York Times, the horse tested positive for a performance enhancer called scopolamine.
He's just perfect, and now he's just immortal!
It was the storybook ending to a perfect career.
Justify has done it!
Last spring, the flaming chestnut colt Justify became the 13th horse to capture the Triple Crown.
It's a very good beginning for Justify.
In each of his races, the well-muscled horse uncoiled his massive stride, holding off the best 3-year-olds in the world. Tonight, though, the horse's Triple Crown victory is suddenly tarnished. The New York Times award-winning sports writer Joe Drape reports that weeks before the Kentucky Derby, Justify failed the winner's drug test that followed his victory in the Santa Anita Derby. If horse racing's rules had been followed, the talented colt should not have been eligible to even run the Kentucky Derby. The Times reports the California Racing Board took more than a month to confirm the drug test, and instead of filing a public complaint as it usually does, the board moved to drop the case entirely behind closed doors. Despite flunking a test for a performance enhancer, the big colt became just the 13th Triple Crown winner in 100 years.
I knew we had the horse to do it. I knew we had it. He's a beautiful horse, and I'm so proud of my team.
During Justify's historic 3-year-old campaign, gregarious trainer Bob Baffert had all the time in the world for reporters. In the wake of the Times report, though, Baffert is silent. His Kentucky attorney, Craig Robertson, is doing all the talking.
My hope is that when everyone takes the time to review all of the facts and not just the sensational article that was written in the New York Times, they'll look at it and realize that this really was a non-issue.
Okay, so late today, Baffert issued a statement attributing the positive test to hay contaminated with Jimson weed. Now, I spoke with a large animal veterinarian who tells me when horses consume hay contaminated with Jimson weed, they end up with intestinal paralysis and other symptoms, which would make winning a Grade 1 stakes race like the Kentucky Derby highly unlikely, Katie.
It's very interesting, and it'll be interesting to follow this. All right, thanks, George.